So today we're gonna make one of my favorite recipes of all time. If you've ever been over here for cocktails, they have been here for years, and they're my cheese straws. So it's like that's mocha, if you hear her. But they're like these really spicy, cheesy little straws that you bake in the oven, and I've kind of like developed my own weird way of doing it over the years to make it like fast and easy, and I can throw it together literally so quickly at this point that it's just a go-to thing for me. So it's like to have people over for drinks, you know, just like a fun snack, or like for before dinner, like while you're making dinner, just so people have something to kind of like snack on for a little while. So I was going to show you how to make them because it has been much requested over the years. Okay, so I'm going to start with, again, my favorite flour, White Lily. So this recipe, I've changed around, but at least the base ratio is based on Edna Lewis's cheese straws. So 1 2/3 cup flour, just really kind of light, cool, doesn't matter. So I've just changed some of the spice and salt around a little. So we've got our flour. 1 2/3 cup flour, and then let's see, salt, butter, and cayenne. That's what goes in the bowl first. I have to look at my notes so I remember. So salt is, let's see. Okay, so this is what I do with the salt, which is weird maybe, but not to me. Okay, so let's see, 1 teaspoon. 1 second. One day I'll unload the dishwasher, I swear. Where are you? Just a second. I don't even want to look for it, so I went to the random measuring cup reserves area. So 1 teaspoon of salt. So I don't know why I do this. I assume I originally, you want to use like an actual just table salt so that it is thin enough to like distribute through your flour well. So I do kind of like a half of my teaspoon with the normal Morton's, and then half with the Mountain and a little extra. Okay? And then for the cayenne, so it's 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, but, and then this is my cayenne pepper that I have right now, but I've had every brand imaginable over the years, so it really doesn't matter. Now I don't have the 1/4 teaspoon. Found it, also a random version. Okay, so this is the thing. It is 1/4 teaspoon, but I always kind of, I mean, do they like spicy? Because that might be my 1/4 teaspoon. Or if you think that they're really kind of averse to it, I mean, I would still do more. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you think that they really love, so just go with that. And then sometimes maybe even, so I don't know. That's just like, it's what I feel good about today. So the cayenne pepper, you know, that's your jam to decide, but I definitely like it pretty cayenne-y on my end to contend with all the sharp cheddar cheese and such. Okay, so this is a stick of unsalted butter. I'm also making pasta at the same time. So I was just like, let's just make cheese straws in between doing a video on pasta. So 1 stick of butter. This is another thing where it's like, that's why it's so easy to throw together. This is not necessary, but I do it. Like I cut the butter in with a pastry blender until, you know, just to get like a little initial cut in, and then I go in with my hands. Oh, I should have stirred that with a fork. Here, let's stir it all together. It doesn't matter. Like it's all gonna get involved with itself in the end. Okay, there. But yeah, ideally, maybe stir your dry ingredients with a fork and then go in with your butter. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna all be one thing eventually. So I just think that's easier, just so that you are getting it in like these little pebbly pieces to then go in with your hands. So actually I'm gonna switch camera spots so you can see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so we have our 1 2/3 cup flour, our teaspoon of salt that has, you know, it's basically half table salt, half Maldon sea salt, and a little extra Maldon. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, ish, and we got our stick of unsalted butter. Okay, so what I did, just to get the butter going, was I cut it in with, this is called a pastry cutter. Okay, and it has these blades on it. It's great for pie dough and things. And I had one. So whenever I started this recipe, I'm like, oh, that's the tool that makes sense to me. Okay? But then you're going to go in with your hands. So you want to go in with your fingers and basically, what is it called? I'm trying to think, blend it, I guess, until it is like the texture of cornmeal. If you know what cornmeal feels like. So you're just... I only use the pastry blender just to get that started, because I mean, you have to start somehow with your big gigantic stick of butter. So yeah, hopefully you can see that it's getting shaggy here, but not cornmeally. So just keep going, and that's what I mean. It's gonna all go together. Okay. And I'm happy about this. Maybe I'll make this for somebody this weekend. They're pretty good. See how it's starting to get cornmeally. I'm gonna keep going for a little while here. And then the next thing that we add is our cheese, and then we're going to blend it in well, and I'll just show you how I do that and what the cheese is. So I like to use the Tillamook, I think it's extra sharp cheddar. Okay, so this is it. This is the texture where I would stop, okay? So let me get my little cheese here. Okay. And so even then, like I just tasted that, right? It's spicy. Like, so I use this, I have always used this Tillamook sharp cheddar cheese. And I really like it. I'm like, forgive me. I will unload the dishwasher, but not today. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, so we've got our block of cheese, and then we're just gonna grate it. Okay, move all the crap. So, Mocha's like moseying around at this point for yeah. So I believe Edna says 7 ounces of cheese. I do 8 because this is an 8-ounce block of cheese, and you can, you know, it's cheesier. What's 1 more ounce of cheese? So we are doing this, and I'm telling you, this is, it's like, I don't know, staple household recipe. It's like something to snack on while you cook, while you have drinks. It's like, it can be added to pretty much any menu. I always just have it, even when it's like varying. I mean, it's just the classic little things. This is my little southern version of the, I mean, it's a very southerny sort of thing. So we're grating. Mocha's hanging out. Darth Vaderiness, babe. But I love you. And And yeah. So when you're in a real rush, it's fun because, I mean, like I said, I have thrown this stuff together when people are walking in the door because you basically, you do need to let it rest in the fridge for at least 15 minutes before you like roll it out. But I'm telling you, it's been rough sometimes. Like, so they've been slung out in all manners. But yeah, ideally, like, you know, make it early in your day. But that's why I like it. It's like, if you just keep blocks of this Tillamook cheese, if you have flour, if you have your cayenne pepper, if you have your salts, I mean, and eggs, you know, because we need 1 egg. That's the rising agent in it, is the egg. Then, and it gets really kind of, Mocha's waiting for me to drop cheese here. I don't blame her. She's just a smart girl. So, I mean, I'll do it. I want all the cheese in there. Okay. So, all of our cheese. I do think it makes a difference to grate it yourself before you ask me that. That's the way I do it. So, we are now going to, can you still see? We're gonna blend all of this together with our hands until all the cheese is pretty much blended. I feel like you can't see that well. There has to be a way to make it taller. Now, so you're gonna just blend. I like it because, I mean, it's like a bowl in your hands. Frantic, people are coming over. You can get it done. And it's an extra added thing to the dinner. It's great with like a really great like green salad. And, you know, I've done it with like roast chicken. Just to have like, again, a little extra thing while you have your Prosecco or your cocktail or whatever. And then you can also just usually add it onto your plate for whatever the meal is. They're almost like little breadsticks, the way that I cut them up anyway. They're kind of like little French fry shapes. I know some people like extrude them, but I do not. Mocha. Okay, babe. So, let's see. So that's pretty much as blended as that's gonna get without the egg, okay? Can you see? I mean, it will stick together. It's like a big chunk of dough here. Okay. And I'm like, and I'm always tasting it. Okay. So next thing, you take an egg, Mocha, and beat it with a fork with 2 tablespoons of water, okay? Oh my God, where's the tablespoon? Okay, so this is a refresh. This is what it looks like. You know, it sticks together. And then I got my egg. I'm gonna get 2 tablespoons of water and beat it with a fork. So, 1, 2, we need a fork. If Mocha will let me have it here. Okay. So, two tablespoons of water, 1 egg, and you just beat all this together. Okay, when you pour it in, and it's messy, but you just knead it until all of the egg is incorporated in there, okay? That's kind of the thing. So that's what we're gonna do. And then really, I believe you let it rest for 20 minutes. I haven't, is what I'm trying to tell you. But ideally like on a piece of plastic wrap for 20 minutes. And then, you know, put it in your fridge for an hour and then roll it out in your little things for your people. So, pretty quick. Like, I don't want to gross you out here with the dough because it is kind of getting like sticky eggness. But it is how it is. You just want to get it like very much incorporated in there because that's what's going to make it fluffy and that's what's going to make it rise, right? So, you know, if there's no baking powder or anything like that. Okay. So if this was me, I'd call this done, and I'm going to put it on a little sheet of press and seal wrap, and then refrigerate it for an hour after it sits 20 minutes. Like, so this is our dough here. Okay, so we have our dough. See? There. The original recipe says to let this sit for 20 minutes, then wrap it up. Most of the time, I just go ahead and wrap it up right now. It's not going to ruin anything, but, you know, I'm actually just going to wrap it up. Again, if I was in a hurry for a party, I would definitely just probably throw it in the fridge at this point and call it a day. So, and I understand they're like little perforated clean blade things, but I'm just very like, let's just get this done. Okay, so I'm either gonna like let this sit. You could have let it sit before you folded the edges up. Room temp, 20 minutes, then your hour, or just say screw it and throw it in there. I mean, we can just set it to the side and put it in 20 minutes. It's not a big deal just to do it. Okay. So we're gonna roll out our cheese straws. They've been in the fridge for about an hour or so. So, here's our dough, okay? And we are going to lay just a little bit of flour down and roll them to 1/4 of an inch thick. So, you know, flatten it a little at first. So you can totally go like this and like pat all this down by hand, but and it works perfectly. You don't have to use a roller. I just kind of like it. I think it's quicker for me to just use the roller. So you're aiming for like 1/4 of an inch thick here. It's not by any means an exact science. Really doesn't matter. Okay, so let's pick it up. Make sure it didn't stick or anything. So you can see like how this is kind of going here, okay? Nothing weird, nothing hard. Nothing precise. So, take this first little thing. Honestly, you could use that, but whatever. Sake example. So we're gonna cut this in like these really just the strips that we feel. Okay? That one's a little thin, but why am I doing this? It doesn't matter. That shows you how easy it is. So, it's by no means feel like, did I used to use a pizza cutter? I don't remember. If I did, I did. I'm sure you could. But like basically you're just going to cut these in these, you know, arbitrary fry-like shapes. Okay? And then I'll cut this way to cut them all in half because they're very long. It's really not sticking, but just so you get where we're going with this. Okay. I'm so excited to show this recipe to you all. This is like my favorite thing ever. I love it. That's Mocha. She's just participating. Okay. So, yeah, I kind of want a little thinner for some reason. But I kind of like them like that. Like a thicker fry kind of shape. Again, this doesn't matter, and I really like to serve them in like these little julep cups. So I have my oven preheating to 400, and my oven that's 425 because my oven's a little bit off. And it's really amazing because you don't have to do anything. You just lay them on a nonstick cookie sheet. And they're I don't even know what that is, but they're completely fine. It's like if the edges are a little bit raggedy, like up here, it just doesn't matter. And I don't know how this was really figured out over the years, but I know a lot of people put them in those, like pastry baggy things, or like those squirting, wiltony creations, but I don't do that, and I'm not going to do that. It's too much work, and I also love the way these look in a julep cup. So, okay, you ready? Yay! Done! That's how easy this is. Okay? Hopefully you can see that, because I might have had it a little bit off. Okay. Can you see? Here. I'll just move around it. How about that? Okay. So at this point, all you do, it's like they really don't spread at all. They're not like cookies that spread, right? So you're just kind of separating these apart. And like, you can put them very, very close together, and you just bake them at 400 for 18 minutes, and they are the best. So 1/4 of an inch was what it was supposed to be. We have a friend, Henry, and years and years ago, we did a batch, and Henry loved it, so we actually do ours at 18 minutes. So that's how I like them. So you can actually put these really close together, because again, it's not like a cookie, it's not going to spread. You're just trying to get as many on here as you can get on here in some sort of fashion. And that's why these are so great and very beloved. And I mean, I would just assume have someone over for cocktails, basically, and cheese straws and some snacks, then make a full meal. But that's just me. Let's see. Yeah, but you can see, like, this is amazing. What can you see? Okay, hopefully you can see. Like, you see how this is all like, you don't even have to pull that off. It's really not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter if some are short, because you're just gonna shove them in these julep cups in whatever fashion that you see fit, basically. And if you cram them on here, you should be able to do it and make it work. So that's why it's a very, very flexible recipe. I don't know that anyone else cuts them like this in fry shapes, but this is the fastest and easiest way to do it. So this is the way we're gonna do it. Whoops. See? It doesn't matter. And I love things that have flexibility that do not matter. Because when you're stressed trying to have people over, that's the last thing you need to worry about. Is something stupid. Okay. Da, da, da. The oven is preheated. They will go in for 18 minutes. It will be perfect. I take it back. Look how cute these are. Whoops. And you can totally, you know, do them on 2 sheets, and sometimes I do if I get like nervous trying to, like, that it's taking more time cramming them on here than it is worth it. But like when you know people are about to show up, it's like 18 minutes and you're done, you know? So there. So, in the oven for 18 minutes. I just realized that I shot that whole thing vertically. But anyway, in the oven for 18 minutes they go. I'm sorry I did that, but oh well. You can see that they're not perfect. They're just kind of crammed on here. 18 minutes at 400, my oven 425, and they will be right out. And their julep cups will be ready for them. So I'll just show you a brief update here. 7 minutes left, but look how beautiful. I'm trying to decide if I should pull them out yet. I'm gonna do 1 more minute. Okay, so the cheese sticks are finished. You can literally pick them up right off the tray, a little hot. So, what I do is put them in these little julep cups. But see, like, look, woo, hot. But, I mean, basically, like, we could wait like a second here. But basically, they come right off the thing. You can throw them to people very quickly. Very hot still. Might let them sit for a second, but, I mean, they snap apart, like, instantly. And they are pretty delicious. Okay, so I was being a little bit impatient. So the ones that were really close together, I just took like this knife and like separated them a little. But I mean, this could be done cuter. However, I'm partial to how a fry looks in a julep cup. And whoops. Okay, I say okay a lot, but I think they're kind of chic, really. So it's like, it doesn't really matter that they're different sizes. You can see the back. You're just gonna arrange them in your little cups. And I do think they're, like, I'm being a bad cameraman. Right? It's cute. Super cute. Short. Just doesn't matter. The perfect little snacks here. Look at this. These turned out perfect, to be quite honest. There. Done.